So we've been talking about who the Niners need to get as their number 3 receiver. Wide receiver is always a fun topic. The Niners like to draft them early, but it does strike me that there are some names, there's some bodies on this team at wide receiver that we're not thinking about. I mean, there's Jalen Hurd, there's Richie James, there's Mo Sanu, and there's Travis Benjamin. Travis Benjamin has been a number 3 receiver for a long time. He's 31 years old. I don't know why the Niners brought him in. I don't know what their plan was for him last year. He opted out. He's still around. I forget that he's on the team. Do you think he's in their plans at all? What do you think is the deal with Travis Benjamin?
Maybe punt returner at this point. You know, I mean, that's really what I would see. Honestly, Travis Benjamin never really struck me as anything more than a camp body. You also, when you were listing your wide receivers, you forgot the biggest
River. Probably. Did you know that Zach Wilson follows River Craycraft on Instagram? It's the truth.
Uh-oh.
It's the truth.
Uh-oh.
Boom.
Zach to San
Back to
Francisco
the Bay.
confirmed.
There you go. Thank River Craycraft for sealing the deal.
No, honestly, I expect them to address it in the draft, whether it's somebody like Amari Rodgers, somebody later on in the draft that we talked about, you know, Austin Watkins, Marquez Stevenson, guys like that later on. They would definitely address. Marquez Stevenson and Austin Watkins are probably going to go 5'6".
That sounds right. That sounds
right. You know, and they always wind up taking a wide receiver, right? Jawan Jennings the year before, you know, so they'll make a move. Austin Watkins, incredible story. The kid has one drop in his entire career, and he could name it for you immediately. He knew exactly what it was, and he wasn't shy about, man, this is how hard I work. I know exactly what the drop was, what the play was, and everything. And you know, he really has a solid work ethic, and the 49ers have reached out to him. They've spoken. You know, his mother works 3 jobs. His mother works 3 jobs. And the thing that I walked away with when I heard him speak was, you haven't made it in the league until you get your second contract. And I thought that was really good. So Austin Watkins is somebody like that. Craycraft will be the new Kendrick Bourne. Probably not. I think they're just going to draft somebody. I think that's it. They're definitely going to draft somebody. And then again, the reason that you need to draft somebody is because Deebo Samuel gets injured.
Yeah.
You know, you can't run out. You know, we saw what a potential wide receiver group could look like if everyone is injured. Deebo was hurt. Deebo was out. Ayuk had COVID. You ran out. Craycraft, Richie James, Kevin White was out there. That's how bad it can look if you don't really address this. So Travis Benjamin, while he provides that deep threat because he still is fast, I don't really see him having an impact on this team, especially not as a number 3.
Yeah, I mean, they like Jawan Jennings. They like Jalen Hurd. I'm sure they'd like one of those guys to emerge, but I was at training camp. Jawan Jennings did nothing. Jalen Hurd, he seems impressive that 2 weeks that he played that one time. So I don't know. It seems like they got to definitely draft a wide receiver, but maybe not in round 2. If they take a wide receiver over a corner, I'd have a problem with that. But I don't think they will.
Depends on the receiver. You know, this receiver group is really, really deep. You know, like somebody like Newsome from North Carolina, if he's on the board at cornerback and you can take him there, I have no problem with that as well too. But, you know, I kind of just been going off of previous draft classes. They always find a way to address wide receiver, and I don't think that this year is going to be any different. So I see it happening. I just don't know what round. And it depends on who they like, honestly. We don't know. We didn't know that Brandon Ayuk was so high on their board, you know, last year. You know, but that's different. He's a number 1 wide receiver. So as far as that, you know, it just depends on who they covet. I love Amari Rodgers because he profiles like Deebo. Marquez Stevenson's really good. Austin Watkins is really good. You know, there's like Frank Darby. There's other guys. There's plenty of guys in this draft, honestly. This is a very deep class for wide receivers.
If they're looking for like a Kendrick Bourne type in the mid rounds, is there one? Or if they're looking for a Trent Taylor type, because they like that type too. And Wes Welker's their guy.
Amari Rodgers isn't super fast. You know, he could live in that intermediate range just like they do. You know, Kendrick Bourne's really good at getting to the sticks and making clutch catches. I'm not trying to downplay him at all. So, like, that's something that's not going to be easily replaced. As much as people want to say that about Kendrick Bourne, you know, understanding those big plays and making them happen are 2 different things. And he does really well with those things. And that will be missed. It definitely will. And especially if, God forbid, this team takes on injuries like they did last year at receiver or anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be something they have to address. I just don't see Travis Benjamin as being the one who will be the Kendrick Bourne type.
You hear that, Travis? He's betting against you. What are you going to do about it, Travis? He's calling you out, Jason.
He's going to yell at me. He's going to yell at me on Twitter.